It cannot override what is in the Constitution. The Constitution is very clear at clause 2 of 203 that for every financial year, the equitable share of the revenue raised nationally that is allocated by county governments shall not be less than 15%. Equitable share of revenue raised nationally. But when you go to Section 2 of the Commission on Revenue Allocation Act, that's Cap 428, it defines revenue this way. It says revenue means all taxes imposed by the national government under Article 209 of the Constitution and any other revenue, including investment income, that may be authorized by an act of parliament, but excludes revenues referred to under Articles 209(4) and 206(1)(a)(b) of the Constitution. That particular definition needs to be looked at. Nobody gave the National Assembly the power, and by the way, these acts were made when National Assembly, before the Senate was formed. These are acts that were made before 2013. And so the Senate was not represented at that time. Parliament constituted only of one house. And so the National Assembly had a free hand to do what it wanted. And here, it's excluding revenue that should be considered in the calculations of what should go to the counties. I would urge, Mr. Speaker, that the leadership of this House takes upon itself to look at Section 2 of the Commission on Revenue Allocation Act, Cap 428, and looks at whether it is acceptable to exclude that revenue in circumstances where the Constitution says all revenue raised. Because if we don't do that, Mr. Speaker, we are going to end up with situations whereby, irrespective of the corruption in the county governments, which needs to be dealt with by law enforcement and to be punished ruthlessly, when you look at the percentages of money that go to the county governments, we have not been able to unbundle enough money to follow the functions that have gone to the county governments. So other than just costing, which is important, costing the devolved functions, we need to also look at the legal framework that was put in place by the National Assembly before the Senate came into existence, to ensure that there is equity and there is adherence to the law within that legal framework. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we shall continue giving county governments a raw deal in terms of equitable share. And so, in supporting this bill, Mr. Speaker, I reiterate that, if possible, this House, the Finance Committee, takes time and maybe gets proper legal assistance, and we have got very good lawyers in this place, to see how these laws can be amended or challenged to ensure that we use the latest audited accounts of the Auditor General. The question of approval by the National Assembly expires before the Auditor General comes in. The Auditor General, there's no room for approving a report of the Auditor General or rejecting it. We only implement it. I can see my time is up, Mr. Speaker, sir. I thank you for the opportunity. I support the bill with those qualifications that the committee seeks to anchor the current division of revenue on the accounts of 2023-2024, which have already been audited and which have taken more than 3 months since they were submitted in Parliament, and therefore the National Assembly has lost the capacity to do anything with them. They run as they do. And if it was even to do anything with them, it could only implement the report. It does not approve. It does not review. It does not do anything. It does not change a comma. It does not add a comma. It does not cross a T. It does not dot an I. The report is final. And that report should be used to determine the ratio of...
Senator Omtata, your time is up. Being an astute public interest litigant, I do propose that the proposals that you have made in your submissions can go into proposals that will guide the eminent legal minds towards asking even the House to seek for those proposals in amendments to the relevant law so that we speak on one voice. And so don't leave it out to the only lawyers. You're one such honorary practitioner by virtue of the public litigation that you're doing. Senator Peris Tobiko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to add my voice